welcome back, everybody, to a special edition of the All Around Atlanta Sports Podcast, or Atlanta Teen Sports Center, whatever you prefer to call us. I'm your host, Blake Newsom, joined with a special guest here at Sports Broadcasting Camp, #SBC, here in Boston, New York native Mike Botanen. And Mike, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How about you, Blake?
I'm fine, and you know your baseball stuff, right?
Yeah, and I guess we could talk a little about baseball, Braves, Mets, that kind of stuff. Though I'm a Yankee fan, I think we can talk about that kind of stuff.
Well, hopefully you do, because I just put you on the podcast.
Okay, yeah, got it.
And I had to pause that right there, guys, because I legit forgot to pull my notes up, so that was a bit unprofessional, but we are back. So Connor, sorry guys, my co-host is named Connor, so I'm used to saying Connor. Mike, you're a Yankees fan, so tell me, we'll talk a little AL East here for a minute, just so you can have a little bit something that you know about. How are the Yankees going to be able to keep up with the Red Sox? They're supposed to hopefully retake first that they had originally.
Well, right now, I think the Red Sox are just beginning to choke, and I think that the Yankees can just bring their game up. They've been winning ball games. Sooner or later, I think they'll be on top of the Red Sox. They won a big game against the Reds last night, and I think that if the Red Sox continue to lose and the Yankees just play their game and do some good stuff before the trade deadline, we can have a postseason team.
Do you know what the next series the Yankees and Red Sox have each other?
Red Sox, Yankees. I believe it's somewhere at Yankee Stadium. I can double check on that.
Well, for now, while you double check on that one, move into the hot topic that Dansby Swanson, who's been hitting 2 for 40 in his last 40 at bats, not doing so hot. Looking to go into his second slump of the year. He started the season batting 150. Looks like the Braves are finally sending him down to AAA to see what they can do, along with Aaron Blair, who came up with the Jaime Garcia trade to Minnesota to pitch yesterday. He got the loss in the 10-2 blowout over when Arizona beat us. So, I don't know, but it looks like Dansby hasn't been able to perform as he was the number one pick a few years ago from Vanderbilt. Actually went to my old middle school. But it seems like he hasn't been performing as the way he was, because he played 38 games in his first year after he came up at the end of the year.
Coming back to the Red Sox Yankees, it looks like August the 11th at 7 o'clock in Yankee Stadium. The Red Sox and the Yankees will have another set.
So it looks like I think they still have a few series with each other, don't they?
Yep.
So it'll definitely be an interesting race to the end. How about the Rays? They're right behind you guys.
Rays, I think.
I know, but what are your thoughts on the Rays?
Rays, well, they've been playing good ball, I'd say. Pitching staff is fine. Fielding, no careless errors. I like that about them. They've also been just playing their game. I think that if they continue to keep this up, they can actually creep up on the Yankees and the Red Sox.
So
that's
yeah,
just what I think.
I mean, that's definitely going to be an interesting race. But how about we move over to my team's NL East? Braves 12.5 games back in the Nationals, not looking so hot. 48 and 52 on the year. The Mets struggling right behind us with third, 13 games back. The Marlins 14, and the Phillies way behind with 25 games behind the Nationals. The Nationals have looked like have controlled this division for the last few years. The Braves won it in 2013, but 2012, 14, and 15, 16 as well. I think the Mets won at one of those. I think in 14.
Yeah, I think that right now the Braves don't they still have a playoff spot right now?
I mean, they have a chance at the wild card, but not really.
I think wild card can still do them well.
Yeah, let me look up the NL wild card standings as we speak. Getting back to Dansby Swanson here, what are your thoughts on what the Braves are trying to do here, and see if he can play more in AAA to see if he can get his bat back?
Yeah, I think he needs to, he was the first overall pick, and I think that he needs to, play his game. First overall picks are supposed to play in the field. So I think that I don't think they don't need to pull him back. I think they need to give him more of a chance to play,
I mean, the thing is, he skipped AAA definitely quickly. He was drafted in 2015, was his first year in ball, and the pros was 2016 when he started in the minors. And he's went up the leagues within a year. Yeah. Skipped over. He went to Mississippi for probably a few weeks as they sent down Ozzie Albies, who's still in AAA as we speak, to play with them, who are supposed to be their stars in a few years. Then they moved Dansby up towards the end of the year. He did pretty well, and he skipped AAA completely.
Yes,
so that's what the Braves are saying is maybe they can, if that was a problem there, maybe they jumped him a little bit too quickly, and they need to hold on a second, and hopefully they'll have a star coming soon.
Definitely agree. They're only 4 games behind 500. I think that they can actually pull some of this magic off. I think maybe not first place, but definitely a wild card spot over 500. I think the Braves have definitely got a shot of that in them.
And definitely true. I hope that the Braves are still. I do have hope in a wild card. I think it's definitely slipping away as we speak. But hopefully they're able to get some wins as I think they come back in town this next series. I'm not completely sure.
They're coming to Boston.
Are they coming to Boston?
I don't know. Last night they played the Diamondbacks, right?
Yes, they played the Diamondbacks to finish the series on Wednesday afternoon. So I believe they come to. I believe they're coming home. Let me check.
Did they win?
Yeah, no, they lost yesterday. But their schedule.
What was the
They play
final
the Phillies
score?
coming up in Philly tomorrow at 7:05 and on Citizens
Big
Bank
game.
Park, as they have 4 games out in Philadelphia. Then they have the Dodgers at home to start their homestand before taking on the Marlins and the Phillies once again in that long homestand.
Dodgers doesn't look too nice either.
I mean, they did take 2 of them out in L.A., which is very nice.
Yeah, I remember.
They gave
remember
Jaime
those.
Garcia hit a grand slam the last start before he was traded. He was pitching very well. I don't know. I believe that was a dumb trade by the Braves. Also giving up young catcher Anthony Recker.
I think
And
he's
then
got some potential, and definitely.
Then what they get in return, they even gave some cap space to the Dodgers and money, as they gave some. I think they got back a 19-year-old pitcher. I mean, if you don't know about my Braves, they've had so many young pitchers on their roster, it's ridiculous. So I have potential in a lot of these guys, but we need hitters now.
Yeah,
we don't
I
want
know.
to be a contender in 5 years. We want to be a contender in less than 2. I mean, if you keep getting these 19-year-old guys, I really don't know what you're going to do, especially drafting a lot of these guys out of high school. I know that the MLB is able to do that, and I know Cobb County is a big area for baseball in the whole country, but still, you got to give these guys some time. You can't trade away your 30-year-old pitcher who still has a lot of time. Is probably the second best pitcher in your staff, and trade him away for just along with your young star catcher to get nothing back with a 19-year-old reliever. I just think it's a bit stupid on their part, but I don't know. I mean, let's look at the Phillies season. The Phillies series preview. The Phillies, as I said, 25 games back at first. Once the best team in baseball, and now the worst. Mike, what are your thoughts on what the Phillies need to do if they want to at least get some wins against Atlanta? Because this looks like a chance for Atlanta to be able to get some wins here.
I mean, yeah, I think that Phillies are going nowhere this season. 25 games, too much of a drought in the beginning of the season. They've just got to. I guess they've got to pitch a little more. I mean, Cole Hamels isn't just enough for them. They can't just rely on him. They also got to get a little better in hitting. I don't know some of the Phillies players, but they need to work on their all-around game, honestly, in my opinion.
I mean, the NL East has been so ruled by the Nationals in the last few years. It's ridiculous that a team that a few years ago was also. It was between the Braves and Phillies coming up to 2012. Then the Phillies had their awesome collapse, as I call it, and the Braves looked like it was going to be their division once again, as it was in the early 2000s and the 90s, as the Nationals sparked that year and really controlled the division ever since. The Braves and Mets, I think, won it each 1 year, but since 2012, I think the Nationals have won like 3 out of the last 5 years.
Yeah, just dominating this division. I think that all the teams there honestly didn't make enough moves before the postseason, and they were just overpowered by this mighty Washington team. I think they just got to play their game, honestly. Back to you.
And one thing to notice is Kurt Suzuki, who had 2 home runs in his comeback to the Braves. Yes, the veteran catcher who they picked up in the offseason. He had 2 home runs in his comeback with the Braves. He has 6 home runs in the year for this month, where he also had. And the 4 of them have given the Braves the lead. They've all come this month. And he just had an incident where his grandmother died and he had to fly to Honolulu. Yeah, and it looks like we're going to have to cut this show short, guys. Sports Broadcasting Camp is calling us. We were legit eating lunch a few minutes ago. But yeah, I know I've had a few episodes really short the last few times. Maybe later today we'll get the episode a little bit longer with Connor or Mark Legate and a Falcons talk. So we'll see you guys next time. Looks like we're going to have to cut it short here.
See you.
Braves look like they can still get some contention, but it's slipping out of our hands as we speak, as I said. See you next time, guys. Go A-Town.